Hi, I'm Grey Tiger, and welcome to yet another episode in my series looking at the unique mechanics of each of the races in Warhammer 2. We are getting close to the end of this series, with just 4 more races remaining after today, which is a shame as I've enjoyed this series immensely. Our focus for today, and this video, will be the mischievous yet cuddly Skaven. Perhaps the Game 2 race which has received the most love from Creative Assembly, with some of the most interesting mechanics, and with some of the most enjoyable units in the game. If the upcoming Wood Elf DLC contains a Skaven of Clan Moors, which certainly seems to be the general consensus, then they will have cemented that claim. We start our journey today with the race-wide mechanics, the first of which is the underway mechanic, which allows the player to move armies quickly under difficult-to-pass terrain and through mountain ranges. When in the underway stance, your armies are also immune to attrition. This is a simple yet effective mechanic that is shared by several of the races in the Warhammer franchise. To improve this, I would like to see increased underway movement between undercities that you have created, as it would further incentivize using that mechanic and would further enhance the feel of the Skaven spreading across the lands. Next is the food mechanic, where food can be acquired from battles, sacking settlements, and through some buildings. This food is used to maintain your armies and provides bonuses based on the amount of food you have stockpiled. The first stage, starving for food, which is triggered when your food stocks fall beneath 20%, inflicts penalties to growth, public order, leadership, and income from sacking, looting, and raiding. The second stage, food shortage, which is enabled between 21 and 40% food stocks, inflicts reduced penalties to growth, public order, and leadership. The third stage, normal food levels, which is enabled between 41 and 60% of food stocks, provides a small bonus to growth. The fourth stage, surplus food supplies, which is enabled between 61 and 80% of food stocks, provides bonuses to growth, leadership for armies in allied territory, and public order. Where the fifth and final stage, plentiful food, which is enabled between 81 and 100% food stocks, provides bonuses to growth, leadership for armies in allied territory, and public order. The next mechanic is Skaven corruption, which lowers public order over time but gives additional uses of the Menace Below army ability during battles fought within the local province. I like the fact that the Menace Below is tied into the corruption level, and wonder if this could be adapted for Chaos and Undead corruption to provide similar abilities. The fourth mechanic is the Under Empire, where the Skaven can lurk beneath any settlement or ruin, growing their empire by either occupying regions or establishing undercities beneath them. There are many unique buildings that can be constructed, but each new building has a chance to cause the undercity to be discovered. As mentioned previously, it would be great to tie the campaign movement in the underway stance to your undercity network, and would increase the feeling of a plague of vermin spreading across the map. The final mechanic is the rights system, which are shared by all the new races in Warhammer 2. Each of the lords have access to the same core rituals, with one unique to them and their gameplay style. It's a good system that I have previously mentioned would be nice to have across all races in the game. Hopefully we might see this in Game 3 as they continue to balance all of the races. Now the Skaven have plenty of mechanics at the race level. Now one new mechanic which would be interesting to see would be a trade and barter system for units between Skaven clans. I envision this system having 3 parts. The first would see all Skaven clans limited to recruiting only those units that fit their lore, so only Clan Skyer could recruit rattling guns, or only Clan Mulder could recruit Hellpit abominations. The second part would be the ability to barter to purchase units from another clan, though to do this you would need good relations with the best units only available when you have close relations or are willing to spend huge amounts of resources. The player would select a clan and then be presented with a list of available units and their costs, and would then be able to barter with the clan, providing units, gold, warpstone, and food in exchange for the desired units. The third part of the system would be the ability to sell units to the highest bidder. The player would select a unit to sell, and then barter with possible buyers until a deal is reached. The selected unit would then be removed from your army or trade pool, and the resources added to your stockpiles. I feel this system would make the recruitment of units more interesting and strategic through the campaign. Now, let's take a look at the legendary lords. Our first lord is Queek, who has the monstrous ego effects, where all new Grey Seer recruits have a penalty of -2 from their loyalty, and Queek steals a percentage of XP earned by other lords. Unfortunately, Queek and Clan Moors do not have any unique mechanic in the base game. However, there is a mod available on the workshop called Queek's Burrow by Team Grimm, which takes Grom's cooking system and reworks it into a head trophy rack mechanic for Queek. The mod gives Queek a chance to take the head of an enemy lord killed in battle, and those collected skulls can then be used to create a trophy rack that grants various bonuses. The mod is still a bit of a work in progress, but is improving with each update. I heartily recommend that you try it out. For the proposed trade mechanic, Queek would have a discount for purchases of 10% from other clans. Our second legendary lord is Tretch, who has the Grand Chieftain of the Deep Warrens effect that provides an additional 4 public order each time a diplomatic treaty is broken. In the base game, Tretch has no unique mechanic, so I added 2 new mechanics in my Chieftain of the Deep Warrens mod, which is currently available on the workshop. The first mechanic allows the player to sacrifice food for upgrades to the offensive or defensive stats of Storm Vermin. There are 6 tiers of offensive and 6 tiers of defensive upgrades, which increase in costs at each tier. The second mechanic is triggered when you defeat a race in battle for the first time. Each race has a unique Storm Vermin that is unlocked when you defeat an enemy race, which can then be recruited into your armies. Once the unit has been unlocked, you are able to assign the related race as your nemesis for 13 turns, which gives you bonuses against that race and penalties against all other races until the 13-turn limit has ended. For the trade mechanic proposed, Tretch will gain an additional 20% gold from the sale of Storm Vermin units. The third lord is Skrulk, who has the Radiant Corruption effects, which include a 100% increase to the spreading of plague, a 50% reduction to the construction cost of Pox Cauldron, Pestilent Nave and Plague Bailey buildings, and 15 turns off the cooldown of the Pestilence Scheme Rite. Skrulk has no unique mechanics in the base game, much like Tretch and Queek. To rectify this, I created the Plagues of the Liber Bubonicus mod, which includes new mechanics for Clan Pestilence. The first of these mechanics is the ability to upgrade the combat abilities of Plague Monks, Censer Bearers, Plague Core Catapults, and the new Scourge Sentinel units. There are 3 tiers of upgrades for each unit type, which cost food and the new resource Warpstone Gas, with each tier being more expensive than the last. As the units are upgraded, a progress bar is filled that also unlocks campaign bonuses and new powerful plague abilities. There are also new regiments of renown that can be unlocked once the upgrade tiers for a unit type have been completed. These regiments also come with new plague abilities. In regards to the proposed trade mechanic, Skrulk can purchase units with Warpstone Gas and gains an additional 10% food from sales of Clan Pestilence units. The fourth legendary lord is Claw, who has the Chief Warlock Engineer effects that grant a 20% increase to technology research, loyalty +2 for new recruits, and a 40% reduction to the cost of engineering buildings. Claw is our first lord who has a unique mechanic, the Forbidden Workshop, which lets Clan Sky improve units in interesting and unique ways by spending warp fuel and food. The first tab is used to improve Doomflayers, with 10 different upgrades in total. In addition, each upgrade fills a progress bar that unlocks additional campaign bonuses and regiments of renown. The second tab is used to improve Doom Wheels, which once again have 10 different upgrades, with each upgrade purchased filling a progress bar that unlocks even more campaign bonuses and additional regiments of renown. The third tab is used to improve Rattling Guns, Warp Fire Throwers, Warp Lock Giselles and Warp Grinders, and each weapons team has 3 upgrades, with each purchase once again filling a progress bar that unlocks additional campaign bonuses. The fourth tab is used for more general campaign upgrades and to build the ultimate Skaven weapon in Doom Rockets, which can be used in battle to decimate your opponent's forces. You may have a maximum of 5 Doom Rockets at any one time in the campaign, though you may only use 1 Doom Rocket per battle. This is a fantastic workshop, with a lot of variety and player choice, and if only more factions had mechanics like this one. For the proposed barter mechanic, Claw would gain bonus warp fuel from each sale of Clan Sky units, on top of the agreed price. The final Skaven legendary lord currently in the game is Sniggich, who has the Chief Assassin of Clan Eshin effects, which ensures that Clan Eshin lords never rebel and provide Night Runners and Gutter Runners with armor-piercing projectiles. Sniggich comes with two mechanics. The first is the clan contracts, where you can select lords and heroes to undertake contracts to increase favour with the different clans of the Council of 13, to gain access to their prized units. The second mechanic, Shadowy Dealings, is where you can once again assign lords and heroes to complete tasks, but this time the task is completed instantly. There are many different types of mission, from assassinations to sabotage to theft, that can be performed on settlements and armies. This is a great way of quickly leveling up lords and heroes during the campaign. Overall, this is a decent mechanic, which gives Clan Eshin an advantage over some of the other clans. For the interaction with the barter mechanic proposed, Clan Eshin would receive up to a 20% discount on units purchased from the clan or clans that they have the best relations with. Well, that brings us to the end of the video, which I hope you have enjoyed. If you play Skaven and are looking for some additional flavour in your campaigns, then I encourage you to try out my Chieftain of the Deep Warrens and Plagues of the Liber Bubonicus mods, and take a look at Team Grimm's Queeksborough mod too. Next time, we will take a look at the Tomb Kings, one of the races I played on the tabletop back in the day, and one of my favourite races added in Game 2. Until then, I'd like to thank you for joining me. If you like the content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Grey Tiger, and I'll hopefully see you next time.